A big focus this hour in a series of terror attacks. A search party in the Gando area of the district was attacked, resulting in the injury of Police Constable Fareed Ahmed, who was posted with a special operations group in Gando. This encounter broke out after 6 officials were injured in a checkpost attack in the region. Just a day before, the Jammu and Kashmir police has released sketches of 4 terrorists involved in the 2 Doda district attacks and announced a reward of 20 lakh rupees for information leading to their arrest. 4 attacks have happened in quick succession. The first attack took place on 9th June in Riyasi, which claimed the lives of 9 pilgrims. This was followed by an attack in Kathua on the 11th of June. Local villagers were targeted in this attack. The third attack also took place on the 11th of June in Doda, wherein an Indian Army base was targeted. And now this logic tells us that these series of attacks were planned well in advance. However, the question that arises is, how do we make Pakistan repay? Joining us at this point is Major General G.T. Dwivedi, Global and Strategic Affairs expert. We also have Major General Sudhakarji, Strategic Affairs analyst, joining us live. Major General K.K. Sinha, Defence expert, is live with us. Helen Rao, former DCP Special Cell, also joins us live. Let me begin with you first, Major General Dwivedi. 4 successive attacks over 4 successive days, a clear pattern. Do you believe it's the same group behind it, sir? Or are these attacks disconnected? What is your interpretation of the series of terror incidents?
Well, Uday, you made a very important statement as to how you can make Pakistan pay. Well, I'd like to answer your question in 2 dimensions. One is the operational and one, of course, on the strategic dimension. So what you're seeing now, this pattern has been repeated over a period of time, I think from last 3 years, when Pakistan shifted the complete operations south of Punjab. We had a series of attacks in last 3 years, and we lost 36 security forces personnel and 11 civilians in the area of Poonch and Rajouri, Surankot. Now, this pattern in now Riyasi and Doda, this area was not very active. In fact, in 1990, when I was around this, that was the time this area was active, but after that, this area went dormant. Now, coming to the operation part, yes, there could be one group, there could be more than one group. They plan it well. When we go into some bit of, lower the guard, and then they strike. And these are all well-planned, orchestrated, well-trained terrorists, and of course supported by Pakistan, no other nation. Coming to the strategic dimension, look, Uday, Pakistan has been at the proxy war for last 4 decades. A decade in Punjab in 1980s and 90s. I was operating 5 years in that area. And then the shift came from 1990s until today is the area of J&K. Now, this is the Pakistan proxy war game. And in this game, Pakistan has been changing tactics. They have been changing some of the even militant and terrorist groups, and also geographic regions, sometimes north of Punjab, sometimes south of Punjab. And now in last 3 years, why south? Because situation has largely stabilized in the valley. Not much is being able to be done by the Pakistan operating terrorists because local support has weaned away. This grid is very effective, and hence it is south of Punjab. Now, how do we defeat Pakistan design? First and foremost, we must have a very clear-cut and counter proxy war doctrine. We have been, countering Pakistan, but we don't have a larger design. So we need to have a doctrine, and this doctrine must have the political diplomatic dimension, where we take on Pakistan on the global forums. We need to have a better military coordination, both north and south of Punjab, and not to forget Punjab. I am speaking from Jalandhar now. And anytime, anything can happen across the border in Punjab. And third point is internal, because as long as internal support is there, these groups will keep operating. And now there is definitely some bit of internal support. You take Rajouri, Poonch, Riyasi, Doda, that has to be curtailed. So all I can say is we need to have a very clear-cut counter-proxy war doctrine. We need to handle it at the national level, and we need to take it as a proxy war and defeat it with our own counter-proxy war doctrine. Uday.
All right, let me in fact take that across to Major General Sudhakarji as well. Major General Sudhakarji, this is clearly a pattern as we are seeing these incidents. Do you believe this is no coincidence, Major General Sudhakarji, that these attacks are happening just after the new government's takeover? Is this a deliberate design by Pakistan? In fact, the first such incident happened just 2 hours before the swearing-in ceremony.
Uday, good afternoon. Thank you very much for getting me to your show. Excellent question by you. So, quick reflections. I can't actually compliment the previous co-panelist more. He deserves to have the last word on the subject with his wisdom and experience. But let me give a perspective. In order to respond to your question, kindly bear me out 2 minutes time. Here is a problem waiting to happen. Why was it so? No problem related to security is to be looked at in isolation. Dots have to be joined to get the background and likely future roadmap which the jihadis are expected to take. So what was the problem? Why has this problem taken place now? The problem has taken place, will not go far too behind. Let's take our mind back to post-1971 liberation of Bangladesh. Consequent to liberation of Bangladesh, Pakistan, be it as it may, decided to adopt a K2 theory and started applying the Kashmir Valley and the Khalistan. When Kashmir goes quiet, Khalistan becomes active. When Khalistan becomes quiet, Kashmir goes active. Our viewers must understand that Punjab and Jammu, they have a common border. Exact distance, I don't remember. It could be anything between 130, 180 odd kilometers, maybe little this side, that side. Now, with that border, there is one important infrastructure development which is taking place. It is the National Highway 44. It is no longer the one which one had seen in 70s and 80s. It is one of the state-of-the-art international highway connecting the mainland with the Kashmir Valley. So how does it impact? How is it related to the issue? The issue is related to, I would say, without going too much back, is a couple of things that actually has put India into a global map by virtue of its credibility, by virtue of its reliability, by virtue of becoming the brightest spot in economy or the developmental metrics. And the stability, political stability, has put the India onto a very high trajectory on the global map. So when that has happened, let's bring in the Galwan incident. Galwan incident perhaps has been as much a turning moment for India as it is for others. While India got a wake-up call post-Galwan incident, the speed at which many developments have taken place hasn't gone down too well. Galwan incident took place on sometime in June 2020, and it was it was preceded by a very important event is called as abrogation of Article 370 and reconstitution or the reorganization of the state of Jammu and Kashmir into union territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. This particular reorganization, in one shot, India has actually killed multiple enemies. People have been talking about the cartographic warfare. Here, with the revision of the map, with the reconstitution or reorganization of the J&K, we have been able to kill many things, trigger many issues which were lying dormant. For example, 1994, the resolution taken in the parliament that the Pakistan-occupied Jammu Kashmir, Gilgit and Baltistan are an inalienable part of India. It was ours, it is ours, it will be ours. No matter what happens, we'll take this, the Pakistan-occupied, illegally occupied territory back and integrate that with India. This Article 370 and 35 alpha abrogation is something which neither China has taken it too well, nor Pakistan has taken it too well. It has not gone down too much in a healthy manner. So what happens? Pakistan has gone through the journey of its challenges, which nobody can conceive, whether it is economic, constitution, political, or the debt reservicing or whatever. There is no export from Pakistan taking place. There is only one export which is taking place in the trans-border terrorism. It was epicenter earlier of terrorism along with Afghanistan. Unfortunately, Taliban created by Pakistan has turned against it. So therefore, there are multiple fronts which Pakistan is surrounded with. On towards the west, it has got Balochi Liberation Army. On to further north and northwest is the Taliban, which it itself created. Inside Pakistan is Tehrik Taliban Pakistan, and the new name which has come out is E-Jihad. Also alongside the Sindhustan Liberation Army and a host of other groups. Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba, under new names, have started flourishing and booming across the border. They were waiting to actually carry out, orchestrate these activities. And the assembly elections in Jammu Kashmir is round the corner. The moment assembly elections takes place, the final stamp of authority as relevant to a democracy like India is going to be given to the Article 370 and Article 35 alpha abrogation. That perhaps is, in my opinion, is the objective which not only Pakistan but China is leveraging. Consequent to the Galwan incident, the extended standoff has drawn out many regular forces, including Rashtriya Rifle, to my assessment and research, from this dormant sector of, let's say, Rajouri, from Poonch to Rajouri to Riyasi, Kathua, then Doda. That National Highway 44, which I was talking of, west of it is Riyasi, Rajouri, and Poonch, closer to the line of control. East of it is Doda. For our layman viewers to understand that it is gradually forming an imaginary corridor which is cutting across the national highway and going towards Doda, which earlier used to be a dormant sector. So what does India do now? India should look upon the entire issue with calm and in a composed manner without acting or taking recourse to any kind of decision in a jiffy. So what course of actions are open? In my opinion, there are some actions to be taken at the local level, some actions to be taken at the regional level, that is, I would say, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, etc., and China to the north, and some actions have to be taken at the global level, but focus on the smooth conduct of elections which are around the corner, and along with that, the entry of FDI into the Kashmir Valley, number of tourists coming in, should not be discouraged. The footfall of 2.1 crores of tourists, which have broken all the records in independent India into Srinagar Valley in 2023, is a clear indication that normalcy is back. This normalcy getting back is a big trigger for the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir citizens to raise protest against the Pakistan administration and have expressed their intent to voluntarily join India if they do not do anything otherwise. So therefore, all these things now comes to the second point. What does India do to address the threat at the regional level? In my opinion, my penny's worth, I personally feel there is nothing wrong in banning ISI. ISI must be blacklisted. It must be banned. It is directly impacting on the peace and stability of our country. If we do not do it, we cannot expect the strategic neighborhood of USA to ban ISI, because without ISI, USA cannot exercise its clout of influence as a superpower. It needs Pakistan, whether overtly or covertly. So therefore, the second step should be the terrorist activities taking place in our hinterland, that is this imaginary corridor. There is a need to reconstitute a kind of a counter-insurgency, counter-terrorism grid with whatever resources we have. There is a requirement of rebalancing the resources. The regular army which has gone to the northern border is creating pinprick problems for China. China wants to create situation like Manipur. China wants to create situation like what is happening in Doda, Riyasi, and all these places, so that the formidable defense which India has been able to present along the northern border is weakened by de-inducting these troops back to this area. So therefore, there is a requirement for India to actually take a holistic view, carry out very mature, responsible rebalancing of forces, and re-establish, I would say, a kind of a counter-terrorism grid so as to generate effective intelligence. The biggest challenge today for the CAPF or the paramilitary forces employed in this area is that there is no intelligence. Intelligence about whom? So is it about the local terrorists or about the foreign terrorists? I have been hearing in multiple channels, people have been directly jumping to the conclusion that these are the foreign terrorists who have come into this particular sector. Foreign terrorists cannot exist where there is no support. So without any support, neither insurgency nor terrorism can thrive and sustain. In my opinion, there is a small group of foreign terrorists who have infiltrated across the ceasefire line or the line of control, and they have been in the waiting. They have been planning for preceding 6 to 9 months. They have established their hideouts in the forested area of Doda, Riasi, Kathoa. These are all forested areas. Rajouri. While the actions were going on in Poonch and Rajouri, that is the time they have applied themselves, remained in the hide, and contacted
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's bring in the others. Major General K.K. Sinha, please come in here also on on these incidents. What security overhaul is now needed. Prime Minister Modi has also chaired a meeting on the security situation, of course, that prevails currently in the Union Territory. He's spoken to Home Minister Amit Shah and a host of other senior officials. What must be done now, sir? Because it seems that these attacks are not ebbing or stopping.
Uday, good afternoon and Jai Hind. Having heard the two, our experts who have got their, sense on this, I have got, slightly a different view on this. See, we all know that, Pakistan is doing it. It is very simple, as per my calculus, is what is happening and why happening now. Going back and forth, and then, in my mind has got not much meaning. India is very clear. We have been fighting from last 70, 75 years. And last 30, 35 years, we know exactly who is doing what. Now, the matter is what is happening now? Why? There is election in Pakistan, which has gone. They had the civil war, more or less civil war going on in Pakistan. India has gone through a civil, election, which is, the government has come third time. We have, northern borders are very active. Northern borders, the way the China has done it, starting with Doklam, and he has not stopped even today. Galwan has come, and the Kailash ranges have come. Cartographic war is going on. See what is happening. World is at war. You have to understand. And we can't carry on these things, fighting. And everywhere there is a proxy. Whether it is transatlantic area, whether it is the Mediterranean, and way it Indo-Pacific it is coming, and then Southeast Asia. You take it from me, both. After the election in Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif has visited first time to China when the elections were on here. And he has just come back and these things have started. They are worried because in the Indian Ocean regions, also in the northern borders, the way we have deployed, especially into the both Eastern Ladakh and also in the Eastern Theater, which is 3,870 kilometers, they are finding very, very difficult, especially the Yangtze. This is the dream area of Xi Jinping. He has changed the complete military leader hierarchy over there, and they want to do it. They just can't do anything in Indo-Pacific and especially Indian Ocean region. So they are concentrating because this is the only area. This is a strategic area which has a potential of 2.5 front. When I say 2.5 front, one front is you have with China, second front is with Pakistan, and half front is terrorism, what we are saying. Even people do describe this 2.5 front different way, but it is very simple. It has been unleashed on you. See, the causes may be because of the POK, Gilgit Baltistanis, and who is rattled by this? Rattled is China, because CPAC is under threat. When the east and north corridor, which we talk it from Chabahar, that is on. Also, we are talking and opening up after probably the Israel and Iran things will get cooled off. We will have the other linkages going on. This supply chain is the main thing, and this is, you take it from me, it is just that. It is world as war. We maybe not be in a kinetic exchange, but we are in much more dangerous situation. The only way to tackle this is you have to have a deterrence, and deterrence we created by surgical strike. We did after the Balakot, and we didn't wait for anything. And you take it from me. You do not. You have to take it from the cool head. What cool head? What deliberation we have to do it on this? It is being planned, and I'm very sure you'll see the things will happen. Otherwise, we are going for a bigger trouble, and bigger troubles. See, we are very aggressive now. Even now, we have taken the battle to Tibet. When we say Tibet in Thar region, changing the name, which the Chinese were doing it, the name of 30 places has been changed, and it is all done, and we are ready for it. So you have to, these, what you see a little bit, things are happening. These are still the people who has got not much. These are the sleeper agents. They sneak into this, and it is not. It is Neelam Valley is not activated from south of Pir Panjal right up to Kathua. Kathua was two terrorists has been killed over there. He was carrying an M4 rifle, which has come from Afghanistan. So saying that the things are even one commando, Pakistani commando Fauji has been killed, and intelligence sources have. We can't go with the things which we have been doing. You have to go for you. They are instigating you in that instigations, because both the K2 plan, which Sudhakarji was talking about, it is on. You see the way the Khalistanis are moving, see the way the Kashmir has started off again. And all forces, it earlier used to talk about LAT, Hizbul Mujahideen, we have to Jaise Muhammad, PPF has come up, all short of even what we used to say, but these are the same people. They are the same, have got leadership, they have got the same mastermind,
Absolutely.
and they are doing it.
Yes. Ellen Rao, how do we now make Pakistan pay? That's the next big question that people in the country are asking. And do you also believe that there is a deliberate design, the fact that this is happening on the, in the first few days of the government taking charge?
Yes, Uday. First of all, my sincere condolences to the lives who have lost in these three incidents recently in the 9th of June and 11th of June. And we have to think about why these three incidents simultaneously and consequently in these 3 days, you can say. There are maybe the multiple reasons for that. Number one, that reason is that on the day of swearing in, the Pakistan wanted to tell the world that we can do anything what we want. And subsequently, they also have committed these two incidents in their other regions that in that Jammu and Kashmir area. Now, come to the resource that what we can do about it. Now, that definitely, I do agree with Mr. K.K. Sinha that we have to be very strict and firm in our action. And we have thought of so many times we have think about it and with cool mind everything, but now only the surgical strike. But the people also want that the persons, the relatives of the persons who have been killed in these three incidents, they also think that India must do whatever it was done in the surgical strike post Balakot, and then the intelligence network is to be activated because in that area. That I have also done so many operations with RR, Rashtriya Rifles in that hilly area that we have to search for the terrorist while I was in special cell. Practically, I have seen and do the operations. So it's very difficult because the terrorists are sitting over the top hills, and we are doing operations on the lower regions of that hill. So anyway, no problem that Rashtriya Rifle and other security forces are well equipped, well planned, and everything is there. But the only thing is that why these three incidents happen in consequent days, that only shows that our intelligence network had somewhere it has been failure. Our intelligence because that Riyasi and that Jammu region, they are much beyond that international borders. And there may be some effect of that Pakistan, there's the Punjab, where recently the Aam Aadmi Party or some other terrorists have been elected in member parliament as a member parliament. That may be also a reason, but leave apart that. But only these things cannot happen unless there is a overground help to the terrorists. Maybe they are coming from Pakistan, or maybe from the local area also. The terrorists have been flourishing like anything. Like recently, the Lashkar-e-Taiba's new name has been on this incident. So we have to see who are the persons there in Jammu and Kashmir. They want to disturb the well-established peace after peace in that region. After 370 and 35 Alpha have been abolished, and then there definitely I do agree with that. In that 2023, there was a huge number of footfall of this tourist level in that Kashmir Valley. So it shows that that peace was coming back in the normalcy, and that is not digestible with the Pakistan and other terrorist outfits in that area. And that these elections round the corner, they are also thinking that by creating all these things, they should create terror in the mind of people so that there is no or very less polling, and they want to create some more fear of feeling among the people and voters. So our security forces now, they are well equipped, well planned, and everything is there, but only need of the hour is that they should be activated and intelligence network should be increased, so that, and as soon as possible, we should retaliate so that there is no fourth incident. I don't think that there should be any fourth incident. Before that, we should definitely retaliate, and that message should be straight to the Pakistan and other terrorist outfits operating in that region, so that they cannot dare to do any such things in future. Do that.
All right.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.